FishPod TV, we're live and live, everybody. Jay Smith here with Paul Fleming, and we got Tom Swick in here with us tonight.
What's up, buddy?
We're switching gears a little bit tonight, and we're going to talk about the hurricane and some relief efforts that are going on, and that's what Tom's in here for, and we're going to get to that. Real quick, though, we're going to go through our sponsors very quickly. We are brought to you by Coastal Wealth. Go to mycoastalwealth.com and check them out. We're also brought to you by Danco Sports. Go to dancopliers.com. Seamule. Go to seamule.com. Wake Carts and Pure Carts. Angler Armory. anglerarmory.com. And Atlas Track. atlastracksusa.net. And we are also brought to you by something I've been using a lot here lately,
Yes.
GoPuck. GoPuck.com. Get your chargers. They come in handy for what we've been going through. Also brought to you by Central Marine. Go to centralmarineservice.com and YamahaOutboards.com. Also brought to you by Gelux. We finally got our lights ready for the stage, too.
Yep,
so go to gelux.com. And we are also brought to you by Gills. Gills-gear.com. And last but not least, greenproflorida.com. Residential and commercial landscaping. All right, everybody. Hopefully you're watching us tonight with power. If you're not, hopefully you're getting it soon. Our thoughts are with everybody that's down south that's probably not watching this at all. They're lucky they got half their stuff.
Yeah,
with them,
they ain't even get good cell service down there.
Yeah,
If any at all.
Today we're going to talk about some of the relief efforts that are going on and maybe share some stories. Hopefully you guys will chime in here in a little bit on Facebook and share some of your stories, things that are going on in your neighborhood. Thanks for coming in tonight, Tom.
Yeah,
You've been busy in Texas for
I spent
about 2 weeks. Yeah.
Spent 9 days in Texas, and I got back here Saturday just in time.
In time for another hurricane. I don't think there's too many people alive right now that can say something like that.
No.
You know what I mean? You go deal with one hurricane only to come home and find another one.
Well, the old saying in the Army is military training, sir. Military training, sir.
Well, yeah, when it first was projected, Irma was projected, they were really confident about the East Coast, so I wasn't too worried about it. I had a fallback place to go to if they made us evacuate, go to my son's. And then I wake up the day before, and they're telling us it's coming straight at us. So we're thinking we're about to get a direct hit. I call up Paul. He's like, "Get over here. We create Fort Fleming."
Right.
Yeah, it was definitely Fort Fleming.
I like how you anchored the trailer to the driveway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
That
got
was-
some video of that and everything
that
with
was
all the
awesome.
straps, and we had everything boarded up, and I fell straight off of the weight loss wagon right into a bunch of snacks, man. I think this is the only disaster I've been through that I gained weight.
Right.
Yeah. And he had the audacity to come in here and go, ever since I came over to your house, I got off the bed. I'm like, dude, you brought all the snacks.
Okay, I may have brought some snacks. His wife. All right, here's the recipe: 2 sticks of butter, powdered sugar, and chocolate chips.
Right.
Okay, tell me. It's
Liquid crack.
Yeah,
Well, I've
it's-
lost 12 pounds.
Well, you were roughing it. We had the generator and everything. We had it a lot easier than most people did.
Yeah,
so.
we did.
Actually, that's when it kind of changed the path is when I started just booking back.
Yeah.
You know, and I made good time. There wasn't no traffic. I
Yeah,
don't know if
coming south
you
was
guys
good,
see
right?
my videos?
Yeah.
Coming south, I was 80 miles an hour cruise control. You know.
That's for entertainment
way.
purposes. Tom was actually going 65, 75 miles
No,
an hour,
I was doing 80.
whatever
I was doing 80.
whatever the speed limit
And
was.
90
Doesn't mean it.
sometimes.
So, anyways, we made it through good. I know most everybody I know made it through good here in Tampa.
Yeah,
we were
did too.
spared.
We did too.
Most of it hit east, and then the South Florida's just got pummeled.
Yeah.
They did. Naples, Key West, Marathon, Islamorada, all those places.
Yeah, so tonight we're going to talk a little bit. I mean, we can share stories here in a little bit. I figured we'll go ahead and talk about some of the efforts that are being done to bring some supplies down south there. I know you're leaving tomorrow.
I think we're either leaving tomorrow or tomorrow, maybe later tomorrow or early Saturday morning.
Okay.
I'm not for sure yet. We're just waiting on the word. We've been working with Captain Stephen Lamp from Dreamcatcher Charters down there. So he's going to give me and Captain Nate Wiseman and also Captain Joe Cass from Joe Snook Fishing Charters. We're going down. I know Captain Joe's leaving Saturday, but I'm not for sure exactly when me and Nate are leaving, whether we're leaving tomorrow or Saturday morning.
Okay, and you guys are loading another trailer down and heading south?
Yeah, our group from over in Bradenton took Yellowfin loaned us their trailer for Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We took 2 loads on the Yellowfin trailer to Texas, and I think we had another semi-load that we got to Texas. And then yesterday, we took a load down on the Yellowfin trailer. They let us use it again. Great people, awesome people. So they filled that up. It went down. I think we got another load ready to go. But, you know, I mean, we need donations.
Yeah, and that's what we're hoping to get going here tonight.
Yeah.
Now, is that still part of the Southern Sportsman Disaster Fleet that you guys are doing?
Well, not really. It's just kind of a bunch of captains and fishermen that got together. The Southern Sportsman Disaster Fleet was for Texas.
Okay.
So that was the group that I jumped in with Captain Nate and some other guys. And we went down and done that under that
so we got another
acronym.
Group of guys getting together now for this one here.
So we used that acronym for because it was beneficial to be part of a group.
Sure.
So we used that for Texas.
Okay.
So that's still active, but we're not part of that actually.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of the same people that was with us. Actually, our girl Deanna over there is the one that's been coordinating everything. She coordinated everything for us in Texas. She's coordinated everything here for us. A lot of drop points and things like that for donations and stuff.
A lot behind the scenes go on here.
This
stuff doesn't
so
just
much.
Magically appear.
Right.
No, that's for sure.
And you don't just go into something without a plan.
Right.
You have to have a plan. You have to be, have contacts. You don't just take off and go somewhere.
Yeah.
Because you just end up getting in the way. If you don't have a plan and some type of organization and the contacts with the law enforcement, with the military, with the first responders, the fire, people. If you don't have those contacts, you're not being of any use.
Yeah. Well, then you
you're
might be the one being rescued.
in the way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You
don't
might
want to rescue.
You don't know what's
rescuers.
going on there. So.
But Texas was a whole different scenario than what the Keys are.
Right.
Texas was a water issue. The Keys is it's not a water issue. It's not flooded. It's not sitting under 10 feet of water.
They just need supplies.
Everything is destroyed.
Yeah.
The infrastructure is just tore up. They're doing an awesome job about getting the power back on. I actually know the Publix Marathon, I believe, opened back up today.
I think
Publix has been really good. I did want to make a shout out about them. While all the other stores were closed, they did whatever they could. You couldn't buy, any cold or hot goods.
Right.
But they knew people needed things. And here's how far they went. The front part worked where the register was. From everything back did not work. The belts didn't work. They were on emergency lights. A guy had to open and close the door for you every time you went in and out.
Yep.
And those people came in because they knew that people needed it.
Yeah.
And it was really good. And they were the only store I saw open for quite a while.
Yeah.
So good on them for that.
But
and there's been trucks coming from, everywhere. Canada, Alabama.
1,200 Canadian trucks come in the other day.
Yeah, it's crazy how many people.
I think they had like 6 million people without power, and this morning it's probably way better than that now. But I think they'd already got half.
Yeah.
Back. So wow.
And they're getting power
3
back
million
to the
people.
Keys.
Yeah.
Big problem they're having in the Keys right now, though, is so many people are trying to get in, and a lot of the linemen, because of the traffic, it's impeding the linemen.
It's impeding the flow of traffic.
The people that need to go in to do it.
Yeah.
If I was able, I would have been down there, the day after it happened. But you're just going to be in the way of those people.
Yeah.
So, you need to be organized. The best thing I can tell people to do around here is find a drop-off location. I think you have all those drop-off locations
actually, we can
listed.
put some of those
Yeah,
up.
they're right up there. There's a lot of drop-off locations around. And what these drop-off locations do, they take all the items, and instead of sending a pickup truck down with stuff in it or a car down full of stuff in it, we're sending big trailers and big box trucks and semi-loads full of stuff down there. That's what they need. And then, you know, they'll get what they can in by vehicle, by those trucks, and then what they can't get in further, the military's been taking them on C-130s.
Right.
So, you know.
Yeah. So we've got the drop-off locations up on the screen now. Indian River Shutter Company in Palm City, which is more towards on the East Coast over there. You got Turk Advanced Dental Arts, also in Palm City. Maverick Customs, they're over in Jupiter. Redemption Rescue League in West Palm Beach. And then we also have Bonefish Boatworks off of Gun Highway here in Odessa. So
there's a lot of others too. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a drop in the bucket. But you know, I mean, I've seen so many posted on social media. I had tagged Paul and the ones that I found that I was tagged in. So
yeah, there's also here in our local area. The guys from the Wood Butcher fishing team over at Cabinet Creations, they're at 5577 64th Way. In the header to this post that we did is all the information. All the drop-off locations are there, contact points. I know, Tom, you've got a PayPal account going for that as well for donations.
Yeah, my business. Yep.
So,
and what we use, just like we done in Texas, the donations, 100% of those donations are going right back to these people. We're not going there to get paid. That's not, you know, there are people that are doing that, but we're going there to help, just like we done in Texas. You know, it's going to buy relief supplies. It's going to buy fuel. You know, we're taking down generators. Me and Captain Nate, we're going to spend a week to 10 days down there running chainsaws, you know, clearing debris, doing what needs done. We're taking chainsaws, we're taking generators, we're taking fuel.
And all that stuff.
Tarps.
All that stuff costs money. It's coming out of pocket of a lot of you guys, too. So the more that we can get down there to help, the better.
It does. It really helps. I mean, you know.
What are some of the key items that are needed? Of course, water, of course.
Well, your basic necessity items, but tarps. A lot of tarps are needed down there. A good thing to do is fuel cards or like Home Depot cards or Ace Hardware cards. Especially down in the Keys.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I don't think they have the Lowe's in the Keys.
I think there's a Home Depot up around Isla Mirada, I believe, but the majority of them are Ace Hardware.
And there's Ace Hardwares. So those type of gift cards. And if you, let me stress this, if you know someone in the Keys, try to get in contact with those people and see what they need. Yeah. If you have a contact there, see what that person needs. You know, if you've been down there fishing with a charter captain, try to get in contact with them. If you're a land or a property owner down there and you have renters that are renting off you, you know, give them some leeway, 90 days, you know, break on their rent or something. If you're able to do that. If not, everybody understands that. But anything that you can do to help, because there's people that have just lost everything. Yeah, you know.
I would point out, like right here in the Pinellas County, I think our power here when I was staying with Paul was back on within 24 hours. There were some gas stations and stores that immediately tried to open, and they started helping with the flow of just because there was a lot of people that were caught unaware. I can't imagine a situation where they can't even get that. Like that's non-existent for days, and so you know. I saw people hoarding a lot of stuff here that they probably didn't need. Yeah, you could easily send that down right now.
When I was in Texas to get fuel, I had to drive to Sulphur, Louisiana to get fuel.
Yeah,
every time I filled my truck up. The Keys, when we go to the Keys, we're going to have to take all of our fuel with us. Yeah, you know. And that's not a fun drive to come back out to load everything back up. The whole back of my truck's going to be full of fuel. Yeah. I know we got a 5x8 flatbed trailer that's going to be full of fuel. So anyone that can donate 5-gallon cans of fuel, gift cards, fuel cards, anything that those people need down there, you know, it'll get to those people. You know, just make sure that you're donating to a reputable organization. I'm not going to say some things about the Red Cross. Houston had some bad words to say about the Red Cross, but I'm not even going to get into that.
That's been all over the news.
I'm not. I was there 9 days. I didn't see nobody from the Red Cross, but I'm not getting into that.
Just the charities in general. A lot of times, there's not a 100% return.
Your local charities, that are actually the ones that are doing the most good.
Sure, because they're taking supplies and going right to the people.
Exactly.
There's no middleman in there, and
Yeah.
it's
I
not getting
made 2
sucked
trips
up.
getting groceries to Louisiana, milk, bread, and eggs, and baby formula because they was dying for that stuff. I went to Sulphur, Louisiana, brought them back, gave them to a church group. you
Yeah.
know, and they send it out.
Yeah, and they got a better way of dispersing everything.
Exactly.
Than
Yep.
especially if you're not prepared for
Yep.
it.
Yep.
So I had a few questions that I wanted to ask you because you've seen a lot. You've been in the Army your whole life. You've been around the world. You've been in survival situations. I was curious because a lot of people were caught unaware.
Right.
And they end up leaving the house. Was there some things that they could have done just always had around, like say a ditch bag of some sort or something like that would have helped?
Well, I mean, you should always keep, and like you said, a ditch bag. You should always have a bag with a clean, dry clothes in it, socks, clean change of underwear, a flashlight, an extra cell phone or a radio, some type of communication device, a battery-powered radio, little AM, FM,
Just so you can hear news.
AM, FM transistor radio, and a firearm. I highly recommend, especially in situations like this, that you keep a firearm handy.
Absolutely, I agree.
Because there are situations that might arise where you might need it. Hopefully not, but
Yeah, there were reports all over from Texas and right here in Florida. I don't even think the storm hit before we heard of the looting.
It was the
in
day
some
before.
places.
It was the day before.
and like any type of important paper documents you have, like maybe a passport or something like that.
Copies of your
If
important
you
papers.
have those things, your important papers, clean change clothes, a dry change clothes, a radio, something that you can communicate with, or something that you can hear communications with.
Yeah.
Basically, that will get you through, the first 48 hours
Until
or,
help can
or
get to
more,
you.
Yeah.
until you can find out what's going on or some type of help can get to you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and we actually had that very thing at our house here. My wife went right before the storm hit, took a big duffel bag. She actually went to the point of putting everything in bags, in
Yep.
Ziploc
Ziploc
bags, large
bags. Yep.
Ziploc bags. There was a couple of different changes of clothes for each one of us. We had some batteries in there. So she took care of that, and then of course I had my other bug-out bag, which had my firearm and
Yep.
spare ammo
Yep.
and go pucks and
Right.
flashlights.
I had all the
and
same thing.
all that
bags for
stuff.
my
Just
whole
everything
family.
was right there. So, and it was all right by the front door. So, God forbid, if something happened, it was something you can just grab and go.
Yeah. Now in Texas, it happened to them so fast. Most of those people got out of there with nothing at
Yeah.
all,
Right.
or just like your grocery bags that you get at the grocery, the plastic ones with a bag of clothes in it.
Yeah.
Because when you're putting, on a small boat that's rated for 5 people, when you're putting 14 people on that boat, you can't have them take all their
Can't have all your possessions.
goods,
Yeah.
and they know that.
A backpack with just some bare necessities. I always keep it, and I get people to make jokes. Well, do you prepper or something? Like, no, man.
No.
Stuff happens, man.
No.
You don't have to
Pack
feel
a bag
weird
and
about
throw
it.
it under your bed, and
Yeah,
it's ready.
it's
Just
not a
leave
big
it there.
deal. Keep it
No.
in your closet, whatever, and it's ready to rock and
Yeah.
roll when you go. So those were all the key items to worry about.
Yeah.
Maybe some sunblock or something in there. Insect repellent's probably important too.
Yeah.
So
I didn't use none of that. I
No?
didn't have time.
No, I bet, man.
But no, the keys though, it's a different situation. There's a lot of destruction. Buildings that are just completely gone.
Just gone. Yeah.
I think Robbie's is completely gone.
Yeah.
All I seen was pilings and something else there in the
Yeah.
photographs.
Well, most of, you got to remember, a lot of those places down there are shacks.
Yeah.
They're almost like a shack.
Yeah.
And, it's
They're not built to hurricane standards.
No, they're really not. No, there's certain parts of the Keys and Key West and
Right.
everything else where houses are up on stilts and they are hurricane impact rated, but there's a lot of older homes there that just aren't. They're just not up to par
exactly.
for that.
Right. I know Hunter Ledbetter is his last name.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Hunter lives down there with a photographer. He was a retired Marine Corps officer. I've known Hunter for probably 4 or 5 years since I've been down here. But I guess his place is, I think it's still standing.
Yeah.
But he's got some work to do, so he was one of the fortunate ones.
Right.
Yeah, I've talked to a few of our Intrepid customers down in Key West. And,
I mean, it's still tore up.
Yeah, I mean,
but at
there's a
least
lot
he has
of there's a lot of stuff
there.
around it, but the
Right.
structure of their home was sound, I think they're I should have put a picture up there, but there's an old 366 Intrepid that they could not get. They got it out of the water, but because of the trailer issue that they had, they couldn't get the boat out of the Keys. So this thing rode it out all the way down in Marathon, and other than the canvas, the boat was
Good.
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So, there was a lot of there's a lot of people that took the right precautions, and I'm
Right.
glad that there was as many people that got out of the Keys.
Yes, absolutely.
Now there was a lot of people that did stay. We were watching a couple. We were
Live feeds
from
from the water. One guy was on a boat. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But
I don't recommend that.
Sorry,
No, you're all right.
did I bump something?
No, you're fine, bro. I don't think anyway.
We don't need it.
We don't
It's
need
fine.
it. It's all good.
It's all good.
All right. Well, I just got my power back today, so I don't really know a whole lot about what's going on, but I know Naples got hit really hard.
Naples was hit very hard.
As Miami probably pretty
There was
bad.
a couple other places. On my Facebook post, I had mentioned quite a few places that were actually hit hard that we were collecting donations for. Well, I don't have good service in here, Paul.
Oh,
No.
yeah, it's tough getting
Yeah,
a
it's
signal in
tough
here. You
to
got to
get
be
a
on the
signal in
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. But anyway, if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see where I'm asking for donations and drop-off points. Actually, I've been using my garage as a drop-off point.
Yeah.
I've got some donations there. I also had a warehouse on standby over on Causeway Boulevard. But since me and Nate are leaving, then I'll still be able to take donations at my place, which the address is on my Facebook page, post Tom Swick.
Yep.
So my address is on there if you want to drop stuff off over in the Tampa area, and we'll make sure that gets down to the Keys with us too.
Yeah, and I was talking to Bob and Danny from the Wood Butcher fishing team, and they're coming down Saturday, and we were talking, and being you're going down earlier, we're going to try and get you guys linked up so that as they're coming down, maybe you guys can coordinate efforts there to get their supplies into the right hands.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
So as far as the help goes right now, basically what is most needed is supplies, not so much manpower. Is that correct?
Right now, no. People stay away.
Yeah.
If you don't have to be there, don't go there.
Yeah.
It's just causing problems. The only people that should be there going in now are residents or people that are authorized to go in.
Yeah. I do want to throw a big shout out to Captain Ryan Farner
Yes,
and
sir,
the Holland
buddy.
Grass fishing team and all the guys over there. The boat, the half full loaded, is out of Marathon. They brought it's a 64 Viking. They brought it up here to get it away from the storm. There's actually some live video that Ryan had during the storm when all the water went out of Tampa Bay, and those boats were all sitting on the bottom. But they went in, they checked all their running gear. I was down there yesterday at Marine Max and helped them load all the waters and stuff that they had in there. And they loaded that thing down and headed out this
it
morning
wasn't
for
half
Marathon.
full. It was full.
No, it was full. They had generators stacked up on the bow.
Yeah.
There was Great Bay Distributors here.
Yeah.
Donated a gigantic pallet of water. And I mean, they brought U-Haul trucks in full of water and food and all that stuff. So
There's been a lot of businesses and people have really stepped up to the plate here lately.
Well, there's some other areas too that was hit really hard that some people were forgetting. Everglades City
yeah.
was hit hard.
Yeah.
Chokoloskee, what's the other? Marco Island.
Marco Island, yeah.
Those areas were hit really hard, and they're kind of getting forgot.
Yeah.
Because everyone thinks of the
Focusing
Florida
on-
Keys.
Yeah.
So we also need to make sure that all the groups that I've been working with, all the donations, are getting spread out amongst those places.
Correct, yeah.
Especially like the Marco Island, Naples, Everglades City, and Chokoloskee areas. Right now, like I said, we had that load go down to the Keys yesterday, but there's also stuff going to them because right now the Keys are getting a lot of stuff.
Sure, yeah.
They got the military assistance down there where these other places don't have that
Sure.
right now.
Right.
So
I actually saw some.
We shouldn't forget.
Saw some posts. The Army actually dropped in a couple of Chinooks.
Yeah, I saw
with
that
with all the water and supplies and everything else. So the Keys are definitely getting some help and some love down there. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we can't forget about Naples and Marco Island and those areas over there.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a while to get things back together. I was thinking about it today. I mean, probably as things go on, everybody donates there at the beginning and everything, but it's going to be a long process of getting back to normal.
Next week, they're still going to need the stuff.
They're still going to need
stuff.
So 6 months from now, they're still going to need help in some way. And I figure, as soon as things start to return towards normal, you might want to consider spending your vacation dollars down there and
exactly.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Get the economy going again and helping the people that live there.
It's a tourist-driven, industry down there. That's what keeps them going.
I was thinking about it today, and I was like, we should focus on bringing that up every so often. Just remind
the
people.
Keys is the highest cost of living than anywhere in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's a tourist-driven industry down there. And even in good times, it's tough down there.
It is for sure.
And in bad times, it's even.
It's even worse, yeah. That's
I can't imagine.
It's not just all people living in, fancy houses. You got your workers, you got your staff, you got everybody that makes all that stuff possible that live there too and depend on that to live. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, the other thing we also have to keep in mind too is, aside from what we've got going with the relief efforts and everything else, people here at home and even in the Keys and everything, we need to remember we are still in the peak of hurricane season, and there is still a lot of possibilities. There's 2 storms that just came off of Africa right now that are heading across the Atlantic. So we all need to make sure that we still stay vigilant and stay prepared. Make sure your supplies are still ready. Make sure the bug out bags that we were talking about, you've got those together. Because we're very fortunate. You get the topics always. Well, would you rather have the earthquakes or the tornadoes or the hurricanes? We're very fortunate with the hurricanes of having at least somewhat of notification. And now, mind you, this storm
disaster.
This storm was really weird. I mean, it was like first it's up the East Coast, then it's up the West Coast, then it's up the middle, then it's back over here, and I mean, it's just like it couldn't make. Well, look at Jose. Jose's doing donuts out in the Atlantic right now.
And then everyone was complaining. Well, they was complaining. The guys on the East Coast. I seen a lot of people complaining. They said, "Well, we spent all this money getting ready for it because we thought it was coming up the East Coast." People, I find things like that laughable.
Yeah.
Go ahead, try and predict Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't do it. It's a scientific guess based upon the best known knowledge that they have.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's a guessing game. Now, I know US 1 radio should be up tomorrow. So if I can't remember, it's 104 something. I can't remember what it is. But if you guys know, maybe you can.
We'll look it up. We'll post it up afterwards.
And then also Captain Marlon Scott of Fish Monster, he's been doing some updates over the girl's got his landline connected with his cell phone somehow. The Gale Force twins. I think they're from University of Miami or someplace.
I think so, yeah.
They went down there with Captain Marlon Scott, so they've been doing some updates. Check out Fish Monster page on Facebook. Captain Marlon Scott's a great gentleman. He runs out of A&B Marina there. So he's back up giving reports. They're just on the radio. You can't see him. Can't see another pretty picture.
But getting all the information out there.
He's getting all the information out there, from someone, boots on the ground right there.
Yeah, that's good.
Awesome. I'm just checking Facebook real quick, seeing who's on here. You can fill that dead space if you want.
Oh yeah, well, I'm sorry. I just you mentioned. I looked down too.
You want a fishing report? I put out. I think it was this morning. Me and Derek. We had the IFA tournament in Ruskin Saturday.
Yeah.
They canceled that, and then we were supposed to go to Jacksonville Saturday, but me and Derek had a talk with Coastal Wealth, our title sponsor, and we're not going to Jacksonville. We're too busy helping our neighbors right now. So
totally understandable. It's
probably the end of the month. We'll get back to ripping some lips
on
and
the
stuff,
tournament trail.
Yeah,
I will tell you. It's sad that it has to be this way, but in these latest times between Texas and Hurricane Irma coming through, you know, the humanitarian level has really come up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, and what's a shame is that it takes a natural disaster like this
Right.
Yeah.
to bring everybody together to where there's, you hate to sound any type of political, but with a natural disaster, there is no black, there's no white, there's no races, there's no sexes. I mean, it's just your neighbor helping your neighbor, and
Right.
you know, I mean, I can tell you,
until
I mean,
you're without power for 3 days, then you start bitching at the power company.
yeah, you know.
You got to find something to bitch about.
You know,
I mean,
it's crazy, but you know, I mean, I know Jason. You know, between myself and Jason, you know, we once we got ourselves set, you know, we were running around the neighborhood trying to make sure that people had their, their boards up,
Right.
and you know,
Horses
stuff like
are
that.
safe,
Horses were
you got all that
safe, you
stuff
know.
going
Yep.
on.
Yep.
And yeah, it brought a lot of people together. It was funny, you know. You go into Walmart on a normal day.
Yeah.
You might have some static between people here and there. It happens all the time. I see it. Nothing. Everybody
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking with people I probably never would ever talk
Yeah.
to before.
Right.
Like, and what's funny to me is that people that live in other parts of the country, maybe the world or whatever, they have all this stuff to say and they just don't know because they're not here.
Right.
They
Yeah.
just don't
Yeah,
get it.
they just don't get
They're
it.
not seeing neighbor helping neighbor. It doesn't matter
Right.
religion, race, or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
They don't even
Well,
understand.
and it's the shock when someone shows you like a genuine shock, like, oh my God, you helped me. That's just, I mean, to me, that's just sad. I mean,
Hey, I found out a hug and a smile goes a long way.
it
Yeah,
does.
right?
It does.
Yes, it does.
Well, we yanked a tree off of this
neighbor's.
young girl's
Yeah,
car,
right
right,
down the
two
street.
houses down from Jason. She's like, she came out. She goes, "Did you pull the branch off my car?" Well, yes, we did. I mean, she was genuinely shocked that we actually did that.
You know what's
It was-
funny about that car? Okay, so this is a giant piece of tree that
was.
fell in this car, right? All that happened to it, it didn't
broke-
even scratch it.
No, little tail
Broke
light.
a little piece of the tail light
little
out.
piece of the tail light.
That was
broke
it. I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Hey, I found it out while I was in Texas a way to, when you're driving through 4 feet of water in your truck, how to keep water out of your truck. When you get in your truck, you know that tape you put on boxes of clear tape?
Yep, yep.
When you get in your truck, if you know you're going to be in deep water that's going to come up over around where
Yep.
your doors go to you, have someone tape those
Before you
seams
leave.
before you go.
Yep.
And then when you get done, you can just open the door and tape comes right off.
Yep.
I don't know how many times I went through 3.5, 4.5 feet of water, and
Kept it out.
And-
Would you do the Dukes of
I was
Hazzard?
gonna say Dukes of Hazzard all the way in.
I should not have done that, but because mine's a diesel, my air intake's on top.
Yeah.
Once you get water,
Yeah,
in
you don't
that
wanna
and-
suck
and
suck
you-
water up in your
and
intake,
You
that's
don't
for sure.
want to stop.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah,
don't
yeah.
want to stop and go slow.
Yeah.
Go slow.
Well, that's just the big thing. I mean, any flooded area, if you're going through, if you're a big vehicle, go slow because, you are waking everything in its path. And if you've got flooded homes, you're sending a surge of water at their home that they already have water in. So
Well, one point, I had a guy sitting on a hood of my truck while I was driving through the water, so he made sure that I could stay, in the roadway.
Yeah.
In the safe area to
Yeah,
be and not drive
yeah,
off into a ditch
yeah,
or something.
yeah,
exactly.
Well, that's just it. You don't know what's down
No,
there,
you don't know.
especially that.
And
I
the
mean,
road
that
could be
water's
washed out. That
that
was a
water's
lot of
brown.
places the roads were all washed out.
It's full of mud and just. I mean, it's
nasty.
dirty. It's nasty. Well, we were talking earlier, fuel and oil.
Yeah,
and
I mean, every
sewage
time,
for that
chemicals,
matter.
sewage,
every
everything.
time I got out of the boat, my skin would burn. I tried wearing the waders; it was too hot. But you got fuel in the water, all kinds of chemicals, raw sewage, oil, just everything nasty is in
Yeah.
that water. So it's bad. But I feel so sorry for our brothers down in the Keys. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, Houston hit close to home for me because
You're from there,
I
right?
graduated high school in Houston. I'm originally from Katy, which is right outside of Houston. That's where they opened the dam 2 days before I left in Lake Houston, and then ended up flooding all Katy. We didn't go up there because they had like 20,000 boats up there.
Yeah.
I stayed down around Port Arthur, Orange, Viter area.
Kind of the
down
smaller
in there.
areas where
Yep,
you needed
yep,
some help.
Yep, absolutely. So,
It's kind of like now just going where you're needed.
Yep.
Yeah.
yep.
All right, you want to go ahead and pull those up
I'm gonna-
again
I'm gonna
and
pull
show
those up
everybody all
again,
the
yeah.
drop-off points?
Absolutely.
All right, this is all the drop-off locations that if you have some of your extra supplies or you want to go grab some stuff and donate for guys down south.
Can you use that? There's some more drop-off locations.
Yeah, we'll share that up on the
Okay.
on the post as
Yeah.
well.
All right, so you got Indian River Shutter Company, you got Turk Advanced Dental Arts, Maverick Customs, Redemption Rescue League. Am I missing any?
Bonefish Boat
And
Works.
Bonefish Boat Works. We have all this posted on the on our Facebook page.
Yep. And then also in our area, we have Cabinet Creations in St. Petersburg.
Right. That's just I think it's 54th Way over there. It's kind of
64th Way.
64th Way.
64th Way.
Yeah.
You know, they're also going to need tools. Don't forget, you know, they're going to need, you know, carpentry tools, nails, hammers,
Chainsaws, generators,
you know,
I mean, any kind of stuff like that that you can provide is
know,
useful.
Big loads of plywood, you know, I mean, semi-loads and semi-loads of stuff. And they're going to need it for a long time.
Wet naps. I know the baby wipes are a big thing too.
Yeah. Also want to give a shout out to Sunsect. We reached out to them this evening, and they are working on getting us either a bunch of tubes or the individual foil packs of Sunsect to for insect repellent and sunblock. So big thank you to them for stepping up and donating that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. That stuff goes a long way too.
I got room in the truck for it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That'll change your life when you're out there with the
yes,
mosquitoes.
it does.
Man.
Absolutely. I use a lot of it.
All right. Well, you had some pretty interesting stories about Texas. You were telling us about getting out there. Houses just completely covered all the way up to the eaves.
All the way up to the eaves, and
it's got to be really weird trying to navigate through that on your boat.
Well,
I mean,
you know what? This Simrad wasn't no use. Google Maps and Waze
I can imagine that. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's
is
really
what
cool.
I used. I figured that out. I was there 10 minutes, and the people run up to me, and me and an airboat went and got 14 people out. I wasn't there 10 minutes when I pulled into Port Arthur.
Wow.
And these people come running up to my truck because I was pulling a boat. And a guy that was originally from here, I think he lives in Georgia now, used to be one of the original, was it the FWC? It was before it was called the FWC.
Mm-hmm.
He had his airboat there. He was from here, from Tampa Bay originally.
Easy killer.
I hooked up with him, and me and him's the ones that went in because there was a lot of areas you could get boats to, but then you'd have a big patch of dry ground, and then the water would get deep again if you had like a small bridge or something neighborhood.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what we would do, we would take both boats in, and he would take the airboat and go over, and
Hop over it, yeah.
Then bring him back, and we would split them up
rendezvous up,
and shuttle them back and forth. But yeah, I seen the water rise and fall over like a 2 or 3 day period. It would be up to halfway up a house or to the eaves. Then it would fall, and it would be almost dry. And then within 24 hours, the water would be right back. People would want to start coming back in.
And they can't.
And some people would, and then they would get stuck because the water would come back up within 24 hours.
Wow.
So you're going back to areas you already cleared?
And unless they declare martial law, you cannot force someone to leave their property.
Wow.
If they... And there was a lot of people that would not leave. They would not leave.
Man, that's got to be some firsts, though. I don't think that's ever happened. I mean, we're seeing a lot of firsts with a lot of things.
Absolutely not.
Like Tampa Bay with all the water rushing out.
That was crazy.
I mean, it was all over Florida that happened, but I've lived here almost my whole life, and I've never seen anything like that.
I mean, the channel behind my house is usually 9 foot deep. My dock was high and dry.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And that's just got to be a bunch of firsts in recorded history, anyway, around here that we witnessed here.
Yeah,
So I mean, it just goes to show you never know what's going to happen to these things. So it's best just to get out and stay out until it's all clear. That's was it the dam that ended up flooding that back in a couple of times? What was it that?
No, it was just the surges and stuff, because there was so much water, and it would it would go out, and then more water would come in, and it would just push water right back in. Port Arthur today was afraid that the seawall was going to break. If that would have broke in Port Arthur, it would have been, we would have got another 6 to 8 feet of water.
Wow.
Where I initially staged up there with the Marine Corps when I first got there.
Yeah.
And then Vider, it was just a low-lying area, and it got hit really hard. Orange, I mean, there just all of those little towns. There wasn't any place there that wasn't really flooded. There was a very few areas that didn't get it, but for the over 90% of it, from all the way from, I think, Corpus Christi up, I don't know how far north, but then from the coast back up to north of Houston. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
I mean, clear back up from Galveston and the Beaumont area, clear up into Houston. And then Katy, they had to open the dam at Katy, at Lake Houston. Then that flooded Katy because Katy was okay.
Yeah.
But they had to open the dam because if they wouldn't have opened the dam, it would have caused more damage.
Right. Yeah. Well, if it broke, it would have been real bad. Well, and I remember you were telling me when you first got there, you guys had staged in Port Arthur.
Yep.
And then you ended up going into Nederland, Texas as well because they were getting ready to open the gates the following morning.
Exactly.
To let water in. They got almost another 6 foot with just the gates being open.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Exactly. And they had to.
They had no choice. Yeah. I mean,
they had no choice.
All right. Well, thankfully we don't have that to deal with here.
Right.
We just got to get these supplies down to everybody. So everybody, if you can, definitely hit these drop-off spots.
Yes, please do.
And do what you can. I'm sure over the next few weeks we'll be dropping more and more information about other shipments going down from.
And I'll keep you guys updated.
Sure.
When I get down there.
And so everybody can follow you because you post a lot when you're doing this. What's the best way for everybody to follow you?
Facebook mostly. I don't do Instagram.
Tom Swick on Facebook.
Tom Swick on Facebook.
All right, everybody. Well, definitely follow Tom. Keep track. Watch our website. We're gonna post everything on there.
Captain
Facebook.
Nate Wiseman's a good one to follow too.
Yeah, that's right.
Nate, good friend of mine that went to Texas with me. That's who I'm going to the Keys with. So
I will try to get everybody's links up on. We'll make a post here soon with all the important people to follow. Information on numbers where you can call to donate, and then just keep track of everything and do everything we can. Thanks, Tom, for doing everything you're doing, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
An update on our Fish for Clayton. Obviously, the Hurricane Irma put a damper on our Monday rendezvous, and then we were planning on doing it this Saturday. And because of the storm and everything else, Clayton's stint of 5 treatments in a row got pushed back. So we're still taking the donations. The locations in, up north here in Dogfish Tackle, those are still all up. Once we have a confirmed date for the raffle, we'll go ahead and get that in.
I got you some more stuff. I'll donate for your raffle.
That's
beautiful.
Awesome.
That's great. We really appreciate that. He's
really nice.
Really, you could just tell he's just a really cool layback. This is actually just to show you I mean, he's just a laid-back kind of kid, and I mean, this is him during some of his treatments and stuff like that. He's a
handsome little feller.
He is a handsome little feller. Yeah. So, and then next week we're gonna get back. We'll get back to the business of everything. We've got Sheila and Matt Tramontana coming in to talk about the upcoming Tighten the Drag.
Great event.
I'm looking forward to getting back into some tournaments here soon, and maybe get things back to normal.
Dude, I'm jonesing.
I bet.
I'm about to get
watching all those redfish.
I need to go to rehab because I ain't been fishing.
That's it. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll have all that information up soon, and we will see you in the next one.
Yep. Thanks for donating, everybody. If you get a chance.
This episode of FishPod TV is brought to you by Coastal Wealth.